It's the internet's least professional music review show, album reviews, and you. I'm Will. Today we're heading deep into the country underbelly with David Allan Coe's Longhaired Redneck. This is the kind of album that sneaks up on you like Dan and Shay at a NASCAR race asking who's pitching. David doesn't just sing. He lectures country DJs, serenades angels and drunks alike, and somehow makes you believe that Ernest Tubb and a long-haired redneck could share a whiskey and a smoke on a Saturday night. There's jangly guitars, pedal steel, and some of the sweetest female harmonies ever recorded. I mean, these background vocals could make Robert F. Kennedy Jr. cry. Coe's voice is rough, raw, whiskey-aged. He could convince you that you're morally obligated to moon other drivers while on a tour bus driving the interstate at 3 a.m. He name drops legends while dropping himself into the mix like, yeah, damn right I belong here too. This album is country perfection with a sly grin and a toothpick in its mouth. It's outlaw, it's heartfelt, it's hilarious. Longhaired Redneck isn't just an album, it's a state of mind, a warning, an invitation all at once. And with that, let's dive into the first track, the title track itself, Longhaired Redneck. Hold on to your boots. Alright, so Longhaired Redneck. This song kicks in with jangly guitars and the most country sounding voice you've ever heard since Beyonce. Coe starts with, country DJs know that I'm an outlaw. They'd never come and see me in this dive. And instantly you're in a smoky bar where the neon flickers and the light sways back and forth above the pool table as the fan spins around. Half the patrons are line dancing. The other half are just trying not to spill their whiskey. The guitars pile on in layers. There's some strumming, some sliding, picking, more picking. It's like an avalanche of country brilliance. But you're totally fine with all of it. And those female harmonies, they're angelic, buttery, they're distracting. You might forget about the main lyric entirely because your ears are too busy just basking. And the Ernest Tubb impersonation, absolute genius. And then he drops his own name like a humble braggart. I mean, you gotta admire this dude. Lyrically, it's about not judging someone by appearance, and it works. There's subtlety in the guitars and the swagger in the delivery. The drums perfectly punctuating this musical middle finger to anyone who thought they could ignore a long-haired redneck. It's short, tight, but it leaves a mark. It's pure country swagger and wit, all wrapped in one track. Next up is When She's Got Me Where She Wants Me. It starts mellow like a whisper over a bourbon shot, then rolls into a gentle swinging groove. Barroom piano sprinkles in like it's gonna personally make your toes start tapping. And these lyrics are classic country cleverness at its finest. The female background vocals are back and they're sweeter than a pie cooling on a windowsill. The pedal steel wails. It's all enough to make you question why anyone bothers with modern country at all. I try to focus on the lyrics, but the textures are just so delicious. My brain surrenders to the vibe of it all. It's all so real. The song is short, sharp, perfect at 2 minutes, 48 seconds with an ending that's just the title line. And I really, really like the way the line just hangs in the air like smoke from a half-burned cigarette in the ashtray. When she's got me where she wants me. Love that ending. Seriously, I listened to this 3 times. And every time I hear something new, the interplay between voice, harmony, the instruments feel calculated yet effortless. And again, this guy's voice, it's so country. It should come with a warning about mamas and trains and trucks, prison, getting drunk. This track might be why Dak deserves more credit in the country circles. But maybe it's because he was later on that comedy sketch show in Living Color. That was maybe a crime against seriousness in the Grand Ole Opry's eyes. Regardless, this song is pure, unadulterated, high-proof country charm. Next up is Revenge, and it kicks off with this warbly underwater guitar that immediately makes you feel like you've accidentally been dropped into a swamp at midnight with a full moon, and maybe you shouldn't have eaten those mushrooms you found in your backpack earlier. Coe's voice here is aged like oak barrels. He's 33, but sounds like he's been drinking whiskey since the Eisenhower administration. And the lyrics, man, this one is dark. Dak is getting out of prison after killing a man who killed his lover. And somehow the guilt, love, and simmering anger all coexist in his voice. He even blames her. Classic Dak, twisted morality. But it's the storytelling that hooks you. You can almost see him slogging to the grave. Moonlight bouncing off the cowboy hat, muttering, "I still love you. I gotta do this." And those harmonies, again, angelic, haunting, intoxicating. The song is short and punchy, devastatingly effective. It's the kind of track that makes you laugh nervously and then feel guilty for laughing, like watching a raccoon steal your neighbor's trash can and get it all over his yard, and feeling morally conflicted because you didn't do anything about it. Revenge isn't just a song, it's a 2-minute masterclass in twisted country noir. Then we slide into Texas Lullaby, which starts with another warbly underwater guitar. Maybe Dak's trying to summon the ghost of Hank Williams for guidance. He croons about days gone by, daddy, and Texas Lullaby. But then, brace yourself, the classic, "Yippee-yi, little doggy." I have no idea what that means, but it is burned in my brain now. The harmonies, perfect. The production, impeccable. But somewhere between the lullaby nostalgia and the doggy yips, I can't help thinking of that old idiom, "You can't polish a turd." Not because the song is bad. No, it's a gem. But there's just something goofy under the seriousness. And yet you get swept up in it. Okay. And here is where I decide if I'm going to get swept up into this rabbit hole that is the phrase, polish a turd. How old is it? Is it attributed to a sole person? Why was turd chosen? I mean, I guess it seems obvious. Anyway, in the song, there's this line about, "It's been a month of Sundays," which I still haven't fully unpacked. But you know what? I still nod along sagely anyway. Despite the occasional silliness, this is classic Dak. Beautiful, rough-edged, intoxicatingly sincere. It's long for a reason. The music lulls you, rocks you, yips at you, and then leaves you slightly confused and smiling. And you can't really fuck with a John Denver ending. Woo! Yippee-yi! Then we hit Living on the Run, and man, this one has classic Dak swagger. You can almost smell the whiskey and feel the wind through the long hair as he croons about the tough life of an outlaw on the road. It starts mellow, and the lyrics? Pure outlaw poetry. He talks about the thrill, the danger, the sacrifices of a life constantly in motion. And those female harmonies subtly hover in the background again, giving the whole thing this weirdly sweet counterpoint to the rugged outlaw vibes of Coe. Living on the Run is short but impactful. It's like he's telling a story in a single exhale, fast-paced, slightly chaotic, and endlessly entertaining. By the end, you're ready to throw on a cowboy hat, grab a guitar, and ride your lawnmower down the street just to feel a little bit of that Coe outlaw energy. Pure, unfiltered country rock with just the right touch of dangerous charm. Next up, Family Reunion, which starts like a church sing-along and quickly blossoms into the Appalachian Barn Dance Orchestra or something. This kicks in with a restrained yet jumping energy, mandolins, fiddles, and more harmonies than you could possibly track with sober ears. This actually reminds me of the Great Family Reunion Surprise of 1995. There was this state park near me that had a barn and a bunch of other buildings too, and miles and miles, it seemed, of forest and trails. It was a beautiful place. And most of my hometown spend a lot of time there. Like I was there, I don't know, a few times a month. Well, my girlfriend and I both had family reunions there one Sunday, and we were going to meet up while we were there and introduce each other to our weird cousins. And I was going to bring some beer, a couple of joints. Well, When I got there, guess who's sitting next to my grandma? Yeah, I can tell you that relationship ended quicker than you could say Anita Bryant. Anyway, Dak captures that exact mixture of nostalgia, chaos, and awkward family sexual tension, barn dance style, with this song. It's the longest song so far, and maybe a touch overextended, but the production is flawless. Every instrument and harmony is crisp, every note deliberate, and the way he balances seriousness with the subtle absurdity is pure genius. Family Reunion isn't just a song, it's a reminder that life is messy. Music can be perfect, and sometimes the chaos is exactly what makes it all memorable. All right, next up is Rock and Roll Holiday. Wait a minute. That was David Allan Greer, wasn't it? Anyway, Rock and Roll Holiday. The guitars immediately give off a little like Allman Brothers vibe, jangly, melodic, and just enough southern grit to make you feel like you're sitting on a porch with a beer in your hand and swatting mosquitoes. And of course, the female harmonies drift in, sweet, haunting as usual, perfect. The lyrics hit on the tough life of being a star, name dropping Jimmy, Janice, James Dean. Coe sings about the sacrifices and lunacy of fame while leaning against a bar, cigarette dangling, thinking, yeah, I survived that circus. The music starts leaning more country halfway through, reminding you that even in all this rock and roll chaos, Coe's never very far from home. It's tight, it's melodic, and there's a certain been there, done that swagger that only David Allan Coe can pull off. And the interplay of guitar and vocals, perfect. By the end, you're ready to raise a toast and hum along whether you like it or not. Then we get Freeborn Rambling Man. This one leans more into the Allman style unison guitars, but pedal steel and fiddle keep it squarely in country territory. You know, the kind of song that makes you want to grab a hat, hop in a truck, and just drive until you see some cows? That's this. David's comfortable everywhere. Country, rock, even a little barn dance chaos sneaking through. His voice is whiskey-soaked velvet, aged just right, a little rough around the edges, and endlessly charismatic. And those female harmonies, again, they keep showing up like a secret weapon, softening the edges while letting Coe's outlaw charm do all the heavy lifting. Every instrument feels alive. You got the drums casually swinging like they don't even care, and the guitars are having a conversation with each other that you're just lucky to overhear, I guess. This is the kind of track that proves Coe isn't just a country singer. He's a musical storyteller who can bend genres and still make it feel effortless. And now we hit Spotlight, a waltz that somehow manages to be heartbreaking, honest, and a little snarky all at once. David croons about the price of fame, and man, you can practically see him rolling a smoke, doing a rail, and thinking about all the artists who sold out and all the ones who didn't survive. The lyrics cut deep. Everyone's lying about living, and everyone's living a lie. It's timeless, honestly. The kind of lyrics you almost don't hear anymore because everyone's too busy polishing their Instagram filters and being divided by politics. And the waltz rhythm, it hits just right. It's one of those tracks that sneaks up on you. You're tapping your foot, nodding along, and then bam, feel like someone just read your soul aloud in a smoky honky-tonk. There's subtle elegance here, too. The band's restraint is a lesson in how to make a song feel big without ever screaming at you. Every note, every harmony, every breath of that pedal steel whispers, "This is life." And somehow you believe it. By the time it fades, you're half in awe and half tempted to call your friends and let them know you've discovered the real deal in country music. That's Spotlight, shining honestly, dangerously, and beautifully. Okay, next up is Dakota the Dancing Bear Part 2, which is, it's a track that's part parody because of the Chris Christopherson, Rita Coolidge version. It's part wild storytelling and 100% David Allan Coe insanity. It opens with that classic Coe charm, setting the scene at a festival with a bear tied to a tree. Just your average day in an outlaw country land. Then, like magic, or maybe chaos, some hippies show up, slip it a few pills, the bear starts dancing. Suddenly, it's a full-blown circus of questionable wildlife management. David narrates this like a bard in a tavern full of rowdy cowboys. Arlo, hippies, heroin, rhinestones, cowboys, Pusher Betty. It's all in there, flung together with Coe's signature dark humor and outlaw bravado. The music swings between playful and ridiculous, yet somehow it never feels forced. The band plays along, pedal steel squealing in shock, guitars laughing like they know what's about to happen next. And those female harmonies sneaking in like the voice of reason, though probably questioning their life choices. By the end, you're left laughing, bewildered, and thoroughly entertained. It's absurd, yes, but it's also genius in that Coe way, turning a wild story into a song that feels like it belongs in the canon of outlaw country madness. Only David Allan Coe can make you simultaneously worry about a bear and nod along to the rhythm. Okay, so wrapping up Longhaired Redneck. Whoa, what have we got here? An album that's equal parts country virtuosity, storytelling genius, and just plain wild, unapologetic fun. From the jangly guitars and Ernest Tubb impressions in the opener to a dancing bear wreaking havoc in the finale, David Allan Coe takes us on a journey that spans the breadth of outlaw country. It's honesty, it's grit, and yes, it is absurdity. This is an album that reminds you why Coe belongs in the conversation with Willie, Waylon, and Johnny, Chris. Production is full, clean, so carefully done it's almost criminal how good it sounds for that era. The female harmonies alone deserve a round of applause. They're sneaking in like little treasures across the songs. And let's not forget Coe himself. His voice is aged like bourbon, a storyteller's perfect instrument, delivering tales of fame, folly, heartbreak, pure chaos. Longhaired Redneck isn't just a country album. It's a masterclass in outlaw artistry, a comedy of errors, a barn dance for the ears, and a wink at anyone who thinks they've heard it all before. If you're even a little country curious, this is mandatory listening. By the time the credits roll, you're left feeling exhilarated and excited. This album excites me. It actually reminds me of something that my good friend Sir Elton John said when he was being knighted by Queen Elizabeth. He stood up after, and he looked at me, and he said, "Will?" And he's got that British accent. I'm not going to try that. So he said, "Will, I'm so excited. I don't know whether to smoke crack or eat pussy." And I think that's exactly how Coe intended it. Put this on, roll a smoke, pour a drink, let the long-haired redneck guide you through a world you didn't know you even needed. Hi, I'm Will. Thanks for checking out the show. Did you know there's a podcast version of this too? So if you want to hear all the same nonsense without looking at me, you're in luck. You can check it out anywhere you get podcast things, Apple, Spotify, Podrammer, pretty much anywhere they serve up pods. I'm also on Facebook, where things are somehow both peaceful and deeply cursed. And now, thanks to modern science and a little elbow grease, there's a forum at albumreviewsandyou.com where you can post comments for each episode. Think of it as a digital bathroom wall where you can lovingly carve "Will is wrong about everything" with a rusty Bowie knife. Blessings!